At Weatherford strands two in the top of the first, getting base runners to second and third respectively. Tuttle strands two, one, and two positions, unable to plate. So through one inning, your score 0-0 for the opening day action here at the Tuttle Spring Break Classic, presented by BSN Sports. Previous game today, Elgin victorious over Chickasha 3-1. It's a short schedule today, then business picks up for games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I have this angle right here and just see if this is any better. And with the strikeout, games on tap tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. approximately. Chickasha versus Newcastle, 1:30 Bethany versus Elgin, 4 p.m. Weatherford versus Elgin, and then to conclude second day action 6:30 p.m. Oologah versus Tuttle. Friday is the day for most of the games, 5 in totality. 10 a.m. start for Elgin Oologah, followed by Oologah Lawton MacArthur 12:30, Bethany Lawton MacArthur 3 p.m., Weatherford Chickasha 5:30 p.m., and then closing out the day again, Tuttle versus Newcastle at 8 o'clock. Festival concludes on Saturday, 11 a.m. games for Oologah Chickasha, 1:30 Lawton MacArthur Newcastle, and 4 o'clock it'll be Tuttle versus Bethany. In years past, the festival's been a co-host coordinated site between Bethany and Tuttle. It has extended days now, all games here, weather permitting, at Tuttle High School. Tuttle winners the tournament, our number one ranked team in Class 4A. Earlier season victory over Blanchard, now looking, I guess, a little bit less impressive after Blanchard's now dipped to 4-4. However, competition for them, definitely two teams presenting a major challenge in Class 4A at least, and that being Weatherford, the team that's on the field now, and then obviously Newcastle, the team that defeated them earlier in the season. Correction, Newcastle defeated Blanchard early in the season. Elk City defeated Tuttle in a twofer affair on the 14th, or correction, 15th, uh, losing the first game 6-0, coming back to win the rematch 7-4 in district play. Weatherford quite formidable on the basketball court and baseball field. They're entering the tournament 5-2. A couple of canceled games. Some of those were weather related, not necessarily due to the basketball team advancing, but probably a combination a little of both. However, they do enter the tournament losing back-to-back games 9-2 and 12-7 against Bethany and Mount St. Mary. Keep in mind, Bethany is in the tournament here as well. So it'll be an interesting 4 days of action for the BSN Tuttle Tigers Spring Break Festival. This game coverage is brought to you by the First National Bank and Trust Company and Blue Sky Bank. Live streams, plays of the game, and video highlights courtesy of Prep Nation TV. Looks like we'll have some action warming up in the bullpen for the Tigers. Number 4 will be heading over to get some action and warm up the arm. Weatherford again threatening to put in back-to-back innings, 2 base runners on. It is a beautiful day here today at Tuttle. Approximately 84 degrees, a little bit of a crosswind, so you'll be able to hear a little bit of mic distortion. If it gets too bad, please let me know. We can turn the mic down. I've been battling another bout of bronchitis and an upper respiratory infection. So the last 8 weeks have been very difficult to call games. I had to skip a couple just to rest my voice. At the same time, not scare everybody. Two pitch count is in for the strike. We'll have a brief meeting between pitcher and catcher at the mound. Correction on that scoreboard has ball. Could have swore the upset strike, but we'll go ahead and go with what the scoreboard has. 3-0 is the pitch count. 2 down, though. Tigers looking to prevent Weatherford from again advancing base runners, get out of a little jam in the first, hold them scoreless, and unable to plate any batters around themselves. If there is any classification in Oklahoma prep sports that is just loaded top to bottom, in my opinion, classes 4A and 2A, I think, present the most challenges just due to depth and sheer numbers of teams in Class 2A now. However, it will be very fascinating to see this year as Silo moves up from Class 2A up to 3A with the defending state champion. Washington looking for a three-peat. I would absolutely keep an eye on that potential matchup. Silo so far undefeated, Class 3A play. Washington only 1 loss on the season come against this Tuttle Tiger team. Kickstart the games. Tigers no strangers to danger. They schedule tough, play just about the best teams in the state with the I-40 Classic, Tuttle Tiger Spring Break Festival, then the Jones Tournament, Bo Duran Invitational. So they usually get a good sampler of who they might potentially face down the road. Not atypical at all to face 6A and 5A schools as well. Been some variations and changes to the teams participating here, notably Latta no longer coming, Dale no longer participating. Notably, the Oklahoma City Broncos played several years in a row. By and large, we've had a pretty consistent presence of the similar and same teams. Repeat performances and appearances: Bethany, Weatherford, Oologah, Lawton, MacArthur, Elgin. Fires at first base in safe. Ball gets away from him. So back-to-back innings, Weatherford is going to have base runners at second and third, even though it was a little close for comfort at second on the slide. This is precisely the reason why we have the pitcher coming up, and not necessarily, giving any cause for major concern, letting base runners on back-to-back innings. High pitch count again here, 3-1's going to walk them now loaded. So we'll keep you updated. We've got a transmission. Looks like we may have a pitching change now forthcoming from Coach Breck Draper. Bases loaded for the Weatherford Eagles. It's the top of the second inning. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 BSN Tuttle Tigers Spring Break Festival. And here it comes, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Nate. No pressure at all. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Coach tells him straight up. Unless we pick up additional sponsors, we will be broadcasting games only for the Newcastle Racers, Tuttle Tigers, and the Weatherford Eagles. I think another interesting pairing to keep an eye on, Amber Pocasset dropping from 2A to Class A, and with Silo making the move up. That should really favor a couple of perennial powerhouses in Class 2A, notably Dale, in a kind of a down season for them. But you would have to think that Oaktaha is the team that is absolutely team to beat in Class 2A. Could very well come down to Rattan and Tusca, Wright City, some other teams as well performing well. I would say keep an eye on an upstart team from Okarchi. Absolutely smashing performance at state by a lot of the same teammates and players for the basketball squad. Last year they made it to the state semifinals for fall, last portion of the season, I should say. And I would absolutely not be surprised to see Okarchi there in Class A at the very end as well. So keep an eye on them. We'll do our best to try to pick up some tournaments to catch some of these key teams. And strikeout. Tuttle gets the out with the relief pitch appearance. Weatherford has stranded 5 base runners in back-to-back innings. We'll head now to the bottom of the second inning with the Tuttle Tigers coming up to bat. You're watching Prep Nation TV. Mid to deep center field on the wafting drive up in the air. When catches it, sets it up perfectly for the center fielder to run in underneath. Story of the game so far, Weatherford's put 5 base runners on, second and third in the first. Bases loaded in the second. Tuttle stranded to themselves in the bottom of the first. Looking to get going here offensively in a game that could go either way. Pitching change already for the Tigers. No pressure whatsoever. Number 4, Nate comes in, gets one immediate out, and gets them out of a huge jam. Final game for today's action. This one's going to go over to right field, and bam, just about same exact location, just a little bit different trajectory on the ball. So 2 down immediately for Tuttle. 2 games on tap today, 4 tomorrow, 5 on Friday, and then 3 for Saturday. Keep in mind the format is a festival. In years past, Bethany and Tuttle co-hosted games, had pool play. Now the format is pretty much picked up the day here at Tuttle, so it's a 4-day festival. Everything is kind of shuffled and based upon accumulative records, some tiebreakers, scores, head-to-head, that type of scenario. In large part, winner usually is just a team that finishes 4-0 or has the best record, with the head-to-head win being a key differential. Chops it over to shortstop, can't get it in for the single. Tigers once again have a base runner on. Tuttle defending state champion topples Blanchard in a thrilling 3-set arc. Blanchard looking like they may be having a down season here early on. Another team struggling notably, Fort Cobb Broxton, defending Class B champions, starting the season 2-3. However, all of those games have come against larger class foes. Not atypical for Fort Cobb to take some dings early in the season and come on like a freight train once they play B competition only. Congratulations to the Calumet Chieftains, officially toppling Fort Cobb Broxton in the OSSA rankings. Last year we had them co-rated number 1 the last 4 weeks of the year. Obviously, Fort Cobb Broxton putting a major exclamation point on that argument in the championship game for the fall championship. So I would say for Class B, it's probably the 2 teams I would put money on: Calumet, Fort Cobb Broxton. Tupelo, though, and Kiowa could definitely be there. However, Kiowa having a tough day at the office, getting run ruled by Hayworth this past week at the Batiste Baseball Classic. Class 5A, right now I would say watch Duncan. Randy Smith making the move from a position coach, leaving Binger and then becoming softball coach for Marlowe, now coaching Duncan. 2 seasons removed from their first ever state championship. And Randy has got another boy on the squad that is absolutely legit. And he did inherit a really good team from Grant Bowers. Base runner on third, scoring position for the first time in the game now for Tuttle. They're going to advance the base runner on a bog and then give him automatic movement here on the steal. So in quick order, Tuttle has got somebody challenging. And at third, more importantly, 3-0 pitch count, which is favorable. Couldn't ask for much better weather here today at Tuttle High School. Absolutely gorgeous. And the bipolar train cycle that we've all been on, like a roller coaster without a preset pattern. Cold, windy, sleet, snow, rain, heat, all day today, back to back. Now a couple of days in a row with nice temperature, and I'm sure the boys are absolutely loving this, not having to play in sleet or a snowstorm or any kind of major dust pool. In for the strike, 3-1. And ball 4. Runners on the corners for the Tigers. Would not be surprised at all to see maybe one or two total pitches before a jump out early stolen base, try to put some pressure on the catcher, see if they can't bait him into an overthrow, get a run in. Otherwise, I think bunt is out here, and you're going to have to put the ball down low. Everybody that's gone high is pretty much flown out with the wind catching it. And there he goes. Oh boy, thankfully for him, that's exactly what I called. I've followed Coach Draper since his days at Heritage Hall. Not a hard prediction there to make. That is situational, fundamental baseball. You finally have some momentum shifted and swung your way. You force the pitcher to go high. Catcher doesn't have the best throw. 9 out of 10 times, if that pitch is a strike, that ball is on the money. You're thrown out at second. You waste the opportunity. Perfect scenario for Tuttle. They advance the runners from first to second, third, home, take the lead 1-0. All right, 1-2 pitch count now back to favor the pitcher. Analytics say you throw a junk ball here trying to get him to chase or swing. Old schoolers would just go for the kill and throw the strike, try to put the ball in play or get him out, and jams him up high. That ball's going to shift and go right to the shortstop, right, and go pop up fly. Through two, your score, Tuttle 1, Weatherford 0. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 BSN Tuttle Tiger Spring Baseball Festival. Once again, apologize to anybody listening. I have had bronchitis and an upper respiratory infection, and I have a really, really rough voice. This has been the first time in about 6 days that I've even been able to really talk. So doing our best to weave through here and give you some commentary throughout the game. Taking advantage of the beautiful weather here at Tuttle High School. Going to be some great baseball teams in action. Very excited to see Newcastle. They look like on paper a real legit threat for Tuttle. Bethany always plays them tough. Be interesting to see what kind of a season Elgin and Lawton MacArthur have for Class 5A foes. Chisholm up to bat again for the Eagles. Be his second appearance at the plate, even through top of the third. It's pretty good ratio. If you're Weatherford, you got to be kicking yourself. They had base runners on third twice, on second base twice, unable to punch them through. Check swing goes. Both pitchers having good success getting the batters to really swing up and in, kind of jamming them and keeping them high up in the strike range. Ball's put in play. Third baseman snags it, fires 5-3 ground out, and it is one out. Yeah, every ball that is swinging high is going way, way up in the air. Nice job by the right fielder. That ball actually became very challenging. Had to cross catch against the backside of his body. And for a lefty in right field, taking your right hand and catch it on the left side of your body is not an easy task sideways. So good job. Now 2 down. So the pitching change for Tuttle paying dividends early on. Comes in 2 outs, bases loaded, gets the immediate out, and then now he has prevented Weatherford from getting on base and working on his 4th out in the game. Really many wasted movements either. He is very quick, methodical, gets his point, he's on, and it's about an 8-second to 10-second turnaround. This is one of the more deliberate pauses before he pitches. Oh, money pitch, strikeout. 3 up, 3 down, first time in the game for either team. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 BSN Tuttle Tigers Spring Break Festival. A classic song should be remade. It's now, I think, 65 cents to call someone who cares. Well, good old days of quarter pay phones. Tuttle's new field absolutely pristine, in large part, large portions of synthetic turf in field to help with the rain. Have a built-in drainage system, rollback tarp. I've seen them pull it out, and it is impressive to watch when they have to cover and spread. Only real difference that I think that it's made is it's changed a lot of the running path slides of the players. I don't see many of them going head first anymore. Usually they try to one hop it or just run in on the base. If you've ever tried to slide on this stuff, it does not feel good. Weatherford in high and tight, however, it is a ball. Hits him reaching, however, beautifully done. So the leadoff single for the Tigers has them rolling back to back to back innings. Base runner on board for the Tigers. Green coming up to bat, trying to move the base runner on his way. Two hits on the day for Tuttle. Throws down the sack bunt. This one's going to roll along the line, and I'm going to call that an E1. Normally that'd be a fielder's choice, but I believe the pitcher should have made the out on that. So the base runner advances to first and second. The momentum has hugely and quickly shifted back toward Tuttle. Weatherford really had him in a chokehold. Bases loaded in the 2nd inning, and then hit into an immediate out. And then it has been all Tuttle since then. Aggressive base running, stolen bases, a wild throw at second from the catcher, wild throw from the pitcher at first, and it is a 1-0 lead for Tuttle. They are threatening to extend their lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. Squares up, high and tight bunt. No play. Bunt single it is, and with the wild throw, scores another runner. Bases advance to second and third, make it 2-0 Tuttle Tigers. Going to call that another error. The high throw from the catcher was contested, so we're going to go with no error there. But in my count, that is back-to-back E1 and E5. 2 infield bunts. That one was going to be a hot potato. If it had been me, I would have pump faked it to first, pivoted, and just stayed on point to third. He goes for it after catching it high, misses the throw. Base runner steals, and now we'll have a brief conference to see if runners have to stay at first and second or if they're allowed to advance to second and third. Well, anybody that's a sports fan in football, basketball, or baseball, you know the name Brady McAdoo. Just an absolute baller, good at everything that he plays. Had a sister that was pretty decent in sports as well. I am grossly underselling that. Miss McAdoo completing her career at Oklahoma softball. Absolutely fantastic family, longtime Tuttle residents. Off the mark again, catcher loses possession of the ball. Boy, Weatherford has really fallen apart here in the second and third innings back to back. Officials have only assigned one error. I would have definitely given them two back to back on the pitcher and the third baseman. Both had easy plays, even though the third baseman at least had a contested ball to where the base runner was so far down the path. He just really should have just stayed on point. It's going to come off second, scores on third, sack RBI, and I like the razzmatazz here. Base runner forcing them to make a change. So sack RBI for Tuttle, 2 down. Correction, 1 down, sorry. Generally, when you have 5 base runners on, you have multiple hits. Not the case. Weatherford 0 hits on the game, which makes it even more kind of perplexing how Tuttle had a pitching change, but the number of walks just became insurmountable with all 5 base runners advancing on walk. Ball is hit deep to center. Going to stay, tags, and another sack RBI, back-to-back plays. And now it is 4-0 Tuttle. Tigers are rolling toward a victory. Danger ball. That one, you couldn't do much with it. That is what we call a hot shot single. And officially the 5th hit of the game for Tuttle. I have an E5, so my number would be 4. But we will go with the official thing on the scoreboard. Took them a while to get warmed up. As you can see there, a close-up view of the stash. Mr. Draper got the curtains and the carpet all out on display here today for everybody. Known Breck for a long time. Good dude, great baseball coach. Bam, just like that. That one falls and gets past the left fielder. That's going to score a run if they get aggressive. Nope, they're going to hold him. Stand up double for Tuttle. It is their official 6th hit of the game. And they're rolling now 4-0 lead over Weatherford. What a beautiful hit out to left field. Don't know if he lost it momentarily in the sun, but when he paused, the ball hit just about at his right leg and just rolled right past him. Just could not get the glove out quick enough to catch it. I think it surprised him that it landed just about parallel with him. And we'll have the 3 unassist tag. Your score through 3, Tuttle 4, Weatherford 0. We'll head at the top of the 4th inning. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 BSN Sports Tuttle Tigers Spring Break Festival. Well, a tale of 2 games. Halfway through all Weatherford first 2 innings. Well, you should say top 2nd inning. And then the wheels fell off on the wagon face. Five base runners on, 0 cents. Pitching change for Tuttle pays huge dividends as he gets an early out. Three up, three down, third, and then here already one strikeout in the top of the fourth. Flies out deep left field, two down. Well, it is six consecutive batters retired by number four for Tuttle. Is clarifying Nakin on the mound for Tuttle. Didn't want to mispronounce his name. I think I butchered it the first time I gave it. I didn't hear it quite clearly from the commentator or announcer. That has been masterful in release performance. No pressure at all. Came in with the bases loaded. Needed to get in out immediately. It did so with the second pitch that he threw. Three up, three down. Third, working on a three up, three down. Fourth as well. Beautifully timed single. So Weatherford back with a base runner on. So they get the better than eight for the first time in the game so far. First official hit on the day, sixth base runner now for the Eagles. Comes across, plays a strike. Nice cut. The money pitch on the mark. 0-2 pitch count. All right, we'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Tigers will be up to bat. They lead 4-0. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage. go, folks. See why he makes the big bucks. And back-to-back outs. Two down. I found ball hooks wide outside the park. My pitch will put a base runner on. Base runner steals second uncontested and safe. Hard chopper to third. Looks him back, does everything he can, holds the ball wisely done. So it's, in effect, a fielder's choice. Learned from his mistake earlier in the game when he fired too late to first on the run. Missed the throw, allowed the base runner to steal third and go home. Flat on the wrist, he's going to pop out to center fielder, I should say fly out. And so they'll strand one. We'll head to the top of the fifth inning. Score remains Tuttle 4, Weatherford 0. Day one action, game two of the 2024 BSN Tuttle Tiger Spring Break Festival. Live coverage, video highlights, plays of the game, and stream presented by the First National Bank and Trust Company and Blue Sky Bank. We'll talk about an ominous PSA. Called out the make, model, and color of the car and let them know that they need to go check out their car. It's been hit by a baseball. Oh, that's going to be fun, fun, fun. That same thing happened at a Tuska game several years back. Really had just bought a car, went out, never parked that close to the field. Totally empty spot. Thought, well, what are the odds? Baseball immediately hits the moonroof. $1,000 deductible. 5-3 ground out, one down. Just a reminder, just two games on tap today. Earlier game, Elgin defeated Chickasha 3-1. Tuttle up 4-0 on Weatherford. We will be broadcasting and doing video highlights for select teams during the tournament. If we can add more sponsors, which we will try to do, we will pull more games like we've normally done. However, as is, we will be doing games for Newcastle, Tuttle, and Weatherford. If you're interested in sponsoring the live stream for your team, call or text Greg at 405 492 8825. Pop up goes foul. 0-2 pitch count. Nate Hinn holding the batters high and tight. Doing a great job in relief, only giving up one hit since he entered the game with the bases loaded. And a really huge momentum shift in the top of the second when he came in and got the one out. It's been all Tuttle since then, 4 unearned and unanswered runs. One was an RBI run, correction. Some wild throws, some errors. They've really, really taken the game back from Weatherford. Fouls it off again, finds to stay alive. 2-2 pitch count. Will resume. Ball gets away from me. Full count. I think the first time of the game that Hinn has actually gone 3-2. And strikeout. In with the money pitch. 2 down now for the Eagles. Cody Chisholm, another brother combo to an outstanding Harley Chisholm softball player. Strike is in on the money. Got him golfing on that one. 1-2 pitch count again favoring the Tigers. Daytime. Well, we will head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Tuttle will be up to bat. They lead 4-0. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 BSN Tuttle Tigers Spring Break Festival. Just perusing the banners here for the Tigers. 1988 3A state champions, 2006, 2009, 2014, and 2023 Class 4A state champions. 5 state titles in baseball for Tuttle, tying Blanchard and a few other schools trying to crack that elusive number 6 title and repeat performance this season. Tuttle enters the year unranked by OSSAA sets for the larger classes. However, they are number one in PNTV rankings. And early through the first 2 weeks of the season, I'd have to say that Newcastle, if they're not number two, they're probably number three. Only ding on the season for Tuttle, a 6-0 loss to Elk City that they avenged 7-4 in the rematch, splitting the series 1-1. Otherwise, looking to improve to 11-1 on the season. They'll play 4 games this week, one each day. Each will be the closeout game of the afternoon. We're going to have a Wappler out to right field, and it is 1 down. And tied. However, just high 1-0 count. Chops it foul the opposite direction. Each pitcher is having success jamming up the batters on these high swings that the wind is just kind of grabbing and rolling. Kind of a ragdoll effect when they go up in the air, shifting over to the right, west to east. Evens up the pitch count now 2-2. Down the line, single for the Tigers. 1 out single, beautifully timed down the right field line. Nothing they could do about it. If there was a 9-inch gap down the base with the tag spot for the bag and the glove, it fit perfectly in. Courtesy runner number 7 coming in for the Tuttle Tigers. Base runner goes, shot is on the money, and they're going to get him on the throwout. Officially a 2-6 tag off. Tag out or pick off. 2 down for the Tigers. Checks him in high and tight at first, back safe. 1-0 pitch count will resume. Shifting over along the foul base line of first base and right field, unable to get the drop, evens up the pitch count 1-1. Tigers specifically targeting that area. They've had 5 balls hit out in right field. 2 have dropped for singles. Had back-to-back, actually 3 bunts in a row. In my estimation, 2 fouls on them, 1 fielder's choice call. But they all pretty much advanced base runners and scored 2 runs. Hard shot out to left field Walsh for the only double of the day. Otherwise, we've had all singles for Tuttle and for Weatherford. Base runner goes. Ball is hit. This is going to fall for a single. It's going to perfectly correlate. Gets the throw out, though. So correction on the single. Second baseman able to snag it 4-3 on the ground out. We're at the top of the 6th inning. Your score remains Tuttle 4, Weatherford 0. Day 1 action of the 2024 BSN Sport Tuttle Tiger Spring Break Festival. Live stream, video highlights, and plays of the game presented by the First National Bank Trust Company and Blue Sky Bank. Well, home team gets the rights and perks, a final at bat. If everything stands on position, it'll be 6 final outs for Weatherford here. Tuttle only having to bat potentially once in the bottom of the 6th. Evens up the pitch count 2-2. Weatherford getting a little bit better luck here, extending Nathan Hinn. Another full count, second time in the game. Check swing. It is a walk. First of the game for number 4. Now suddenly momentum potentially shifting back to Weatherford. Low ball two. Have another pitcher catcher meeting here, eerily reminiscent of the second inning when things kind of went south and the bases got loaded for Weatherford. The Eagles have got to do what they got to do quickly, down to their final 6 outs. One hops it in the dirt. Personally, I would have stolen that one. I would have jumped it. 3-1 pitch count, playing the numbers, I guess, stays conservative. It's like we're going to have a conference here on whether or not they're going to advance the base runner, it looks like. Yeah, no call there. So maybe just wanting to clarify something. Keep in mind, unlike the second inning, nobody in the Tiger bullpen warming up. So I think this is largely perfunctory here to kind of get things back under control. Keep in mind, in Oklahoma rules, OSSAA, I should say, 2 trips in the same inning means automatic pulling out the pitcher. Back-to-back walks for Nate Hinn. 2 base runners now on for Weatherford. And for the first time since the second inning, they have multiple base runners on after stranding 5 in the first 2 innings, 2 in the first, 3 in the second. Nice hit. Wow, that's going to score. No, they're going to hold him. Wow, they are really playing it conservative here in the top of the sixth. Could have had a stolen base, and had he done that, he would have scored on that hit, or he would have been on third. So we'll see if it makes a difference. Bases loaded now for Nate Hinn as he came in the second. Facing this now, he is on the other side of it. No outs for the Weatherford Eagles, and the potential game-tying run at home plate. Quickly, momentum has shifted and swung the other way. Ours, it is to believe, just the second single and hit of the day for Weatherford. It's almost really bizarre considering the fact that they've had the bases loaded twice in the game, 2-1, and then one on another opportunity. So 9 total base runners and only 2 hits. Just seems really atypical. Oh boy, here we go. That ball inches away from hitting the batter. And it is a 2-0 pitch count now. Again, really struggling with pitch count and command after being so exceptionally efficient with 1 out at the top of the, 2 outs in the top of the second coming in relief. Another ball, 3-0 count. Well, there is a margin for error here, but not much. And again, no pitcher. Correction, number 22 now in the bullpen warming up for the Tigers. So correction on that. There is a pitcher in the bullpen for the Tigers, so we could be looking at a potential change here in the sixth inning. In for the strike. Weatherford, you just keep stressing that arm out. This one's hit, fouled off, full count. So the fourth batter now for Hen goes full count. Fouls it off, stay alive. 3-2 count will resume. Tigers want to strike out here or put the ball in play in turn two. Every base a potential force out. Opportunity here even for a triple play if it falls the right way with maybe a tag at home, firing to second and first, some kind of combination. And it's going to walk in a run. Weatherford officially on the board. Folks, I apologize in the background. We've got a caller and just full mic for the police officer here, courtesy officer. So it's not only pulling music from his phone, but all the call-in radar as well. So if you could hear that in the background, I do apologize. Never really understood officers walking around with it on full blind. When you're here for this game only, you have nothing to do with the calls coming in from other cases, and just leave it on full blast. So pitching change number 3 now for Tuttle. Colby Peskett in to pitch for the Tigers, top of the sixth inning. So Hen goes 1/3 of an inning in the second, full 3, 4, and 5 cycle. No outs here in the sixth. So he is done for 3.1 innings on the day. All right, a glove change for the pitcher. You don't see that every day. All right, so we have a backup pitcher in the bullpen for the Tigers. Assistant coach does the Knicks sign, so I believe they're going to pull him from warm-up, content to go with the change that they've made here. Tigers hold a 4-1 lead over the Eagles. However, the base is loaded for the third time in the game for Weatherford. Will the third time be the charm? Strand 3 in the top second. Score 1 in the top of the sixth. No outs and an opportunity to clear the bases and potentially tie the game or take the lead. Well, it's put in place. RBI is going to score 1, and they hold him at third. 2 consecutive runs for Weatherford cuts the lead in half, 4-2 Tuttle. Bases remain loaded. No outs. Well, Weatherford plays the long game, and it is paying huge dividends now here in the latter part of the game. Bases loaded in the second, no runs. Now the third time for the bases loaded in the top of the sixth, 2 runs come across the plate. Tigers just need that elusive out. One on the pitch count. Who gives him the call? Money pitch outside, low and in the dirt, 2-2. 4 games on tap tomorrow at Tuttle. Big day of action will be Friday. 5 games getting underway, and then 3 to close out the tournament on Saturday. Tuttle will have the final game of each afternoon and evening, and they'll have a good sampling of teams to play throughout the event. Several really, really good programs here. Elgin, Newcastle, Bethany, Lawton MacArthur, Oologah, Chickasha as well. And the bases remain loaded. Another run comes across, and it is a 4-3 game now. Tuttle in a world of hurt here in the sixth inning. If you're Weatherford, you really don't change anything. You keep swinging at good pitches and just keep forcing the pitchers to throw strikes. So far, unable to do so. And they have just been very patient and methodical at the plate and winning this opportunity. And boy, really making Tuttle pay here in the top of the sixth. Look like, they might be on the verge of a shutout down to their final 6 outs. And I mean, bases loaded now 4 times, no outs. I mean, you can't really script that better. You're on the verge of literally going through the entire rotation and batting order in 1 inning without an out almost. Fouls it off, evens up the pitch count 1-1. And in for the strike, 1-2. And strikes him out. First out of the inning for Tuttle. Yeah, deep to left field, all the way over the. That was going to be a backbreaker. Game is tied. Weatherford now has an opportunity to take the lead. Bases remain loaded. They've cleared them out 4 times now, folks. 4-4 ball game. Think Weatherford could have had potentially 2 more runs come across if they had been a little bit more aggressive in base running. However, Hard to argue with keeping the bases loaded 4 times and now opportunity for number 5. But it has been a huge top 6th inning for the Weatherford Eagles. One on the pitch count. And way out ahead, evens up the pitch count, 2-2. Tuttle trying to get that second out. Strikeout number 1 comes. 4 hits on the day, none any bigger than that single. And high, full count. Money pitch on its way, low. Walks in another run, and for the first time in the game, Weatherford takes the lead, 5-4. Head coach Brett Draper will head out to the mound. We've had 3 pitching changes for Tuttle so far. Could be a 4th one coming up. They have lost a 4-0 lead. Shocking is probably an understatement. Bases loaded now 6 times here in the 6th inning. 5 runs have scored. And Tuttle has lost a shutout lead 4-0 to trail 5-4. We finally catch a break. Cop moves out of his position. I apologize. His call scanner has been going off the entire game, none of it having to do with anything about being here at the ball game. And just full blast. So I know a lot of you have heard that throughout the game. Usually it's fans that stand right beside us and talk about anything and everything consistently, nonstop. We've been very fortunate in that regard today. One of the rare instances, Tuttle actually getting a heater by the Weatherford batter on a swinging strike, not a call strike. Oh, got him in the dirt. Bring him up 0-2. Put him play to first base. We're going to have a fielder's choice. Oh, second baseman misses the call. Oh, he snags it. Ran right in front of the first baseman. Can't get the call, can't get the tag, can't get the throw. That is a borderline error, but I believe it's an RBI nonetheless. Fires one by him, foul ball, 0-1 count. It is now a 6-4 lead for Weatherford. So the worm has turned, and now it is Tuttle that is down to their final 6 outs. Corner call is made, 0-2 count. 6-run score, bases loaded for the 7th time here in the inning. All put in play again. Oh boy. Scores 1. Scores 2. Oh no, correction. He's going to tag him out at home. So we're going to correct the scoreboard and panel. 2 outs. Runners on the corners, 7-4, not 8-4. Well, the one time that Weatherford did get aggressive, it actually bit them. I personally thought they could have jumped a little bit earlier and scored 2 additional runs. They played it safe, kept the bases loaded, and for the first time in this inning now, there's only 2 runners on. So huge throw out for Tuttle. They have given up a whopping 7 unanswered runs here in the top of the 6th. Six hits now for the Eagles. The in for the strike. 1-1 pitch count. Oh, called it a strike again. 1-2. Outside, base runner steals. Wild throw, another error. It's going to score a run, and it is now officially 8-4. In safe at third. Oh, strike it. He gets him on the throw out. That's going to be controversial right there. We'll go back and look at the tape. Very close bang bang call, but he gave it to him. 8-4 is the score. Weatherford stays ultra conservative, scores 8 runs, goes for it. It's tossed out twice, once at home, once at third. Strikeout is your other inning in the top of the 6th for the Tigers. They'll come up to bat in the bottom of the 6th. They trail 8-4. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 BSN Sports Tuttle Tigers Spring Break Festival. Live stream, video highlights, and plays of the game, courtesy of the First National Bank and Trust Company and Blue Sky Bank. All the pressure now on the hometown Tuttle Tigers. They'll have 6 outs and 2 innings to try to reclaim the lead, otherwise looking at an opening day loss here to kickstart their own festival. 6-3 on the ground out, one down. A laser arm for the shortstop. And again to the shortstop, back to back. 6-3 ground outs, two down. Tigers now down to their final four outs. It's time with the second baseman, 4-3. So it is three up, three down here in the bottom of the sixth inning for Tuttle. They have blown a 4-0 lead, trail 8-4, and we'll head to the top of the seventh inning with the Eagles coming up to bat. Day one recap of the Spring Break Festival here at Tuttle High School. Elgin 3-1 over Chickasha in game one. Game two, top of the seventh inning, Weatherford 8-4 over Tuttle. Tomorrow there'll be four games played, five on Friday, three on Saturday. All of the games will be here at Tuttle High School at the Brian Stewart Field on the campus of Tuttle Tiger High School. Just down the road from Tuttle Intermediate School, technically, across the street. New beautiful renovation completed for the football stadium. Three-story tier press box, synthetic turf. So big things for Tuttle. Once again, shout out to the wrestling team, just shattering the record books. Dual state champions, all-time record toppling Perry for most consecutive team wrestling, one shot of that record. And now taking Perry Maroon's spot for the most dual state championships in history. And no end in sight for Tuttle's dominance in Class 4A. Two Tuttle Tiger wrestlers up for Prep Nation Wrestler of the Year consideration. Bo Hickman and Ethan Teague. Congratulations to both wrestlers. Both state champions, 145-4 the season, the other 37-0. All right, Chisholm got things rolling in the sixth inning. Total of 13 batters came across the board in one inning alone. See if he can replicate the magic here now. And with the strike. Put in play right to the pitcher. Going to be your perfunctory 1-3 put out. One down for the Tigers. Well, they'll need a clean top seven and a huge rally for the bottom seven. Double up lead 4-0 for the Tigers, 8-4 for the Eagles. So something about fours here for day one action. Well, let's put in play. Shortstop, one hops it. Oh, drops the ball. E6 on the play. Eagles yet again another runner on. In for the strike. Well, four pitchers used on the day for Tuttle. Had to be by design and necessity. Gets him way out ahead, up 0-2 in the pitch count. And K-Time. Two down now for the Tigers. In for the strike. I will give the judge credit. Umpire's been exceptionally consistent on that call. He is calling it just above the waist. And when it's on the inside part of the plate, it is a strike. There it is again, just about the same exact spot, right above the belt. Ball put in play deep to center field. That's going to be a problem ball. Here he comes rounding third. In for the stand-up double. Weatherford with two outs, threatening to score once again here in the top of the seventh. Out way, way ahead on the swing there. Seven hits now for each team officially. I had an error being one of the seven for Tuttle. Strike number two. Chopper, right to third base, goes to first on the fielder's choice, and gets the out. Weatherford Strands will head to the bottom of the seventh. And here is the bottom line. Tigers need 4 runs to force extra innings, 5 to win by walk-off. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 PSN Sports Tuttle Tigers Spring Break Festival. Live stream video highlights, plays of the game, presented by the First National Bank and Trust Company and Blue Sky Bank. All right, here we go, folks. Tigers coming up to bat. 8-4 deficit for Tuttle. They need a huge rally here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Ball put in play. First swing. Scoops it up. It's going to be a call of foul outside the third base line. Took a wicked turn there. Looked like it was going to be a fair ball. In for the strike, 0-2. And rips it out to left field. Tiger on base. Brady McAdoo now at the plate for Tuttle. He'll need to advance the base runner and keep from getting out. Whips him over to first, in high and tight, safe as the call. 1-0 pitch count will resume. Just misses on the plate, 2-0 pitch count. High again, 3-0. And two Tigers on now, back-to-back at-bats. No outs. Potential game-tying run on deck. And up at the plate for the Tigers now, needing to position base runners second and third. May have a pitching change here for Weatherford. We'll see. And has picked up considerably, temperature dropping rapidly as the sun fades and goes down for the day. In for a single. Bases loaded, Tuttle Tigers. Potential game tying run. Home plate, ready to swing. So very similar innings in back-to-back bookends. Top of the sixth, no outs, bases loaded for Weatherford. Leads to 8 runs scored. Bottom of the seventh, no outs, bases loaded. We'll see what Tuttle can do if they can get some runners across the board. Fouls it off. Weatherford looking to turn two, or the extremely rare triple play. Tuttle trying to get runs on the board here desperately. And just like that, 0-2. Ball put in place, second base. Can't hold it. Gets it in late. Ball gets away from him. And 2 runs score for Tuttle. Cuts the lead in half, 8-6. They're going to swing him back. Coach sent him to home. Base pushes him back to third. Courtesy runner at second for Tuttle coming up. So the clarification on that play, advanced runners on the wild throw and the miscue at first. They're giving him one base additional. And so we'll have base runners second and third for Tuttle. No outs, 8-6 is the score. And we do have a pitching change now coming for Weatherford. Stone Chisholm on the mound, trying to close the show for Weatherford here and not relinquish an 8-4 lead. He inherits all 2 base runners, so those will be unearned runs should they come across the plate. Only buddy that will count toward his total will be at the plate facing him here after his perfunctory warm-up pitch count. All right, here we go. 0-0 is the call, and no outs. Strikeout is what Weatherford needs and wants. Weatherford having every opportunity to close the show. Tuttle not going down without a fight. And high for ball two. and make it ball 3-1. Down the pike, full count. Runners second and third for Tuttle. 2 runs have scored, no outs here in the bottom of the seventh. Money pitch in play, and it's going to score 2. Tuttle has officially tied the game, 2 RBI single. 8-8 is the score. Potential game-winning run on first base for Tuttle. Courtesy runner at first. He will be the potential batter that Tuttle needs to get to home. 8-8 game. So previous pitcher will eat all 4 runs scored. However, though, for Stone Chisholm, any combination of the base runner from first coming across home plate, that will be a potential loss for him if he should give up an 8-4 lead. Shows bunt, takes the ball, 1-0 count. Ball gets away from the catcher. It is another square up ball. Not a strike, not a bunt, not a foul. So 2-0 count, base runner steals, and now the potential game winning run only 2 bases away for the Tigers. Throws down the bunt. Apologize for the noise there in the background, folks. Fortunately, it's been a rough couple of weeks. I've got bronchitis for the second time, then an upper respiratory infection. All right, game changing run at third base. 4 unearned runs for Stone Chisholm. So they don't go on his tally. However, if he gives up the run right here at third, He gets the earned run. He takes the loss after losing an 8-6 lead when he came in the game, 8-4 prior to his arrival. Would not be shocked to see another bunt thrown down. Only one out. You just have to be careful not to hit it right to third base and potentially fly out, tag out combo. Other than that, just about every option on the table for Coach Brett Draper. Home, fires. Too late. Walk-off win for Tuttle. They win 9-8. Tigers rally. Victorious 9-8, scoring 5 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Thank you for watching Prep Nation TV coverage. Have a good night, and stay tuned for video highlights coming up. Well, that was a crazy game.